Environmental justice is everything for me. It's our human rights laws, it's our employment laws, it's our consumer rights. Without environmental justice, we don't really have anything.
Ultimately, environmental justice is human justice. We are part and parcel of the environment. And from a legal perspective, the two need to start going hand in hand.
Unless we maintain the integrity of habitats and maintain the integrity of wildlife health throughout the world, then we're ultimately threatening ourselves.
So environmental justice really demands that each of us look at our relationship with the environment and consider how we can build a more sustainable society.
In terms of environmental justice, one of the characteristics of that is that it's a complex problem.
Environmental justice is very much shaped in the conflicts created by the systemic failures of our planning and regulatory systems.
It's all down to money, of course. We live in a world that's structured so that profit ultimately is the only lawgiver.
As Minister, I recognise that access to environmental justice is an important principle, which must be maintained as we leave the European Union.
If you ever sat on a three-legged stool, you realise that without one of the legs, the whole thing doesn't work.
We need to see the linkage between the health of our people and the health of us as humans and its connection to the health of our environment being made more strongly and more obviously and more accessibly in our decision making.
Governments don't lead, they follow. That when people properly understand the existential threat to their lives, they act ahead of governments.
A country marks a commons of earth and elements, a shared ecology of lands and waters, and culture too.
My priority would be to ensure that environmental regulators and decision makers are better equipped for the job they have to do.
The single most important reform that decision makers can make is to ensure that arrangements are in place to ensure that independent policy advice is brought to the heart of policy making that affects the environment. And that basically means policy making across the board, but particularly policy making on the economy.
A key priority for decision makers on the island of Ireland post-COVID is to enhance and develop cross-border collaboration on the protection of the environment. This extends not only to environmental governance structures, but also to the enforcement and implementation of environmental law.
I feel very strongly that we need to work together as communities, and that involves our governments, our state, and it involves the market.
Work on things that give life, that reconnect people with place.
We need to ask ourselves if there's a better way that we can conceptualise property rights in agricultural land that would be more attuned to conservation concerns.
I think it's time that we rehabilitated the boglands and give them their proper place.
Sustaining the planet and our decent working life should be the priority for the age of new normal.
So let's not build back to normal, let's build back better.